You are watching Trends. Every Thursday, we take a peek at the future to see what's ahead of us. The future of war. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Hello, Aluxers, and welcome back. We're sure none of you like the idea of being at war. Some of you may even get anxious at just hearing the word. But as far as human history goes, war has been a major player in shaping the world as we know it. While the reasons for going to war vary from group to group, today we're going to discuss the ways in which the future wars will be fought and what transformations we can expect from them in light of technological advances. What if? What if your country was attacked by a swarm of autonomous drones? What if it was possible to be at war without raising a fleet of soldiers? What if you could be at war and kill your enemies by sitting safely behind a laptop instead of being on the front lines? What if there was no need to go through intense physical training to be in a position to successfully attack your enemy? What if your favorite internet platform and social media was transformed into a battleground? Sounds crazy, right? But to understand where things are headed, we have to examine the upcoming trends in warfare. Introduction. Since the beginning of humankind, several wars have been fought in many parts of the world for a number of different reasons. But what has changed drastically over the years is how wars are fought. From primitive bows and arrows to nuclear weapons and machine guns, the war game has evolved along with humankind. And with the rise in AI and digitization, it's set to become a different game altogether. Developed nations are investing heavily in research and development of future weapons, and military budgets of nations like the US and China have increased more than ever before. In 2018, the US military budget was $649 billion, whereas for China, it was $250 billion. Aluxers, with these numbers on the table, you must have a hint of what the future of warfare could look like. Now, when we consider World War I and World War II, both were fought in only 3 domains. That is land, sea, and air, either one at a time or in combination. But today, with the rise of technology and its proliferation, 2 more domains have come into existence: cyber and space. And if you're wondering how these 2 additional domains will be utilized in war and what could happen if all 5 domains were to be used in combination, we're about to find out. Cyber warfare. The internet we know and love so much is expected to become the next war front, and the most challenging part of this cyber warfare will be identifying the enemy or even realizing the war has started. Terrorist groups like ISIS have demonstrated several times how the free net can be used in spreading terror and influencing naive citizens to participate in violent actions. And countries like Russia have already showed the world the manipulative power cyber attacks can wield. Russian hackers were key attackers during the Ukraine-Russia conflict over the Crimean Peninsula, and were also involved in allegedly targeting the 2016 US presidential election and their own election in 2014. In recent years, cyber attacks by Russia in Ukraine have made Ukraine a new-age cyber proxy battleground, similar to how Middle Eastern countries were used by global superpowers as proxy battlefields in the Cold War. We're sure a lot of you must have heard about the hashtag FaceAppChallenge that recently went viral on social media, and some of you probably even participated in it. And not to scare you or anything, but research suggests the smartphone application might have had questionable objectives. FaceApp was developed in Russia and uses AI to apply various filters onto an individual's image, gaining access to a lot of personal information, which could then potentially be misused by Russian hackers at any point in time. The Russian app has very different privacy policies and does not restrict the usage of data collected by the app, which makes it even more suspicious. And Aluxers, we're sure none of you want to fall prey to cyber warfare or jeopardize your privacy online, and that's why we recommend using a VPN. It's a super easy-to-use piece of software that protects your data online so the government or other companies can't spy on you, and you can enjoy the internet you know and love. We partnered with the great folks at NordVPN to bring you an amazing offer. If you go to Alux.com/VPN and sign up using the code ALUX, you'll get 75% off a 3-year plan and a full month for free to see if you find it valuable. Protect yourself on the internet today by going to Alux.com/VPN. Now that we have a better understanding of the cyber domain, let us now try to learn how space technology can play its part in the future of war. Space warfare. As we mentioned earlier, space is the fifth domain in which future wars will be fought. Today, military superpowers like the United States, Russia, and China are relying heavily on space technology for the protection and surveillance of their geographic borders. The proliferation of satellite technology is helping these nations to monitor and control geographies that are strategically important, and the nations are already working on anti-satellite weapons, commonly known as ASATs. These ASATs can help to destroy or damage the enemy satellite in order to override the strategic advantage provided by the same. Given the fact that space technology is becoming increasingly cheaper and more competitive than ever before, we can expect other nations to join this ASAT race anytime now. Although both cyber and space domains are set to change the battlefields of tomorrow, the most alarming phenomenon is the dawn of autonomous killing machines. Let's take a closer look. Autonomous warfare. It's amazing to see what artificial intelligence and robots can do to make the world a better place. But there is another side to this coin. Even when it comes to war, developed nations are using robots to defuse bombs or access dangerous locations where human soldiers cannot reach or would not survive. But Aluxers, have you ever imagined how dangerous wars will become when these autonomous machines will be able to effortlessly neutralize its enemies on the battlefield? One could argue that developing such an autonomous killer machine could save casualties during a war, but we tend to think otherwise. As you're watching this video, autonomous killing machines are being tested in various parts of the world. These machines are expected to use algorithms that can help them to identify its human target and destroy them. Some of these machines are expected to use facial recognition techniques to match the target with the image fed into the system without any human involvement. Powerful nations like the US, China, and Japan are already working on prototypes of autonomous robots which can kill the enemy. These robots can save several soldiers from being killed, but what if they malfunction? There have actually, in fact, been instances where autonomous killing machines have malfunctioned during the prototyping stage, and such malfunctions during the war could even lead to the machine misrecognizing the enemy. Challenges and threats. Technological advances in the field of warfare have several moral and ethical issues that need to be dealt with at an international level. For autonomous killing machines, the biggest challenge is with the shift of decision-making power to identify and destroy enemies from a human to a machine or an algorithm. While for the cyber wars, it's the ability to change the views and sentiments of a targeted group of people via troll armies and social media propaganda that makes these new warfare techniques both hazardous and unethical as compared to the traditional war techniques. The biggest threat surrounds the ease at which these weapons can be developed and deployed. Traditionally, strategic advantage was limited to a few nations with military might to raise a massive army and with the financial ability to invest in developing better weapons technology. However, the rise of autonomous killing machines boils down to simply developing an algorithm to identify and destroy a subject. As crazy as it sounds, this could lead to a real-life Terminator movie, and the wars will never be the same again. And one could only imagine what could happen if the algorithm malfunctions. Conclusion. As technology advances, it's bound to be implemented in various spheres of our life, including warfare. Currently, the use of advanced machinery and AI for making autonomous killing machines has been prohibited by the UN, and several peace-friendly nations have also boycotted any research done on similar grounds. But if we take a brief look at the history, we'll find several instances where international laws have been breached and damage has been done. Given the fact that accountability of killing a human cannot be transferred to a machine, we should strive to support technological advancements that support prosperity rather than destruction, because it'll be on the moral conscience of humans that will ultimately decide the fate and future of war. Question: Aluxers, we know we have a large international audience and would love to know what you think about these new age war techniques. Has your country gone through any cyber attacks? Also, on a scale of 1 to 10, how ready is your country to fight in these newly developed battlefields? Let us know in the comments. And of course, as a thank you for sticking with us until the end, here's your bonus piece of content. In 2018, a South Korean university named Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology was found to have collaborated with a leading defense company, Hanwha Systems, to research and develop killer robots, and has been boycotted by AI researchers from nearly 30 countries. The company Hanwha Systems is one of South Korea's largest weapons manufacturers and makes cluster munitions, which are banned in 120 countries under an international treaty. Aluxers, we can only hope that you make the right choices while embracing the technology we love so much. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos for you to watch next. As always, the conversation continues on social media. Thanks again, and we can't wait to have you back tomorrow.